All right, welcome in everybody. Welcome in everybody. I am Zack Peter. We are live on Instagram. We are on the YouTube. We are breaking down all of the Erika Jayne scandal news that has broken recently. Welcome on in everybody. What's going on? Say what's up. Who is drinking with me tonight? I have a nice fresh cold. I stole Kim's goddamn house. Hi, Shishi Lucy. What's going on? Hi, Jewel, Cinda. Some nice ASMR. All right, so I want to break down all of this Erika Jayne stuff because it's a lot, and I was trying to rack my brain around everything that's been going on with the judgment that was recently passed. I don't even know if it was. Hold on, give me a second. We're live right now, so give me a second to collect my thoughts. Okay. Welcome on in, everybody. Oh, you're drinking, mention it all. Thank you. Hi, NASCAR chick, U24. All right, I have my notes here. I'm ready. Let's break it down. So as we know, if anybody hasn't ordered, we have the giveaway that's going on this week. If you post a pic with your wine and tag me in it, you'll be entered to win a free 12-pack of wine. Who doesn't want free wine? We all love free wine. And if you want to order some, or if you need to order some, you can order it at nofilterwine.com. Cheers, everybody. Getting Liddy City on a Thursday night. Okay. So earlier this week, a judge, it was reported that, you're drinking I Stole Kim's Goddamn House too. Cheers, babe. Cheers, Krista Marie Miller. Okay, so earlier this week, a judge ruled that Erika Jayne, or the headline was that Erika Jayne has to give up her glam and pay back the victims. So I was diving into these articles and trying to understand what that actually meant. Does she have to pay back all of the victims? Does she only have to pay back some of the victims? Are the lenders now going to go after her because, everything's up for grabs? How much is she entitled to pay back? And so basically what I found was, yes, even though the judge said that so first of all, let's clarify that it's not all of the victims and it's not all of the, sorry, so many comments coming in the live chat asking about the wine. It can be, I don't think it can be delivered to Utah. I'm so sorry, but if you have a nearby state that it can be delivered to, sometimes the legal laws are really, really sticky sometimes. So Utah, I'm not sure if we can ship to Utah with the alcohol. But if you have friends in other states, let them know. Nofilterwine.com. Maybe they can grab a package for you. I believe we deliver to Hawaii. Yes, I do believe Hawaii. So back to the case really quickly. So the judge ruled that yes, Erika is entitled, that the Rui Gomez family, who is the family that was featured in the Hulu documentary, that was the burn victim family, because we hear orphans and widows and burn victims. So this is the burn victim family. And I hate even referring to them as that, but it's just the way that we all know it based off of what's been reported. And just for association wise, they were the family that was featured in the Housewife and the Hustler Hulu documentary. So the judge ruled that, so they're owed $11 million still. Their settlement was for $12 million. Tom paid $1 million. He told them that basically he was going to help them invest it and help them make even more money from it, and that he was going to start to make little payments here and there. Those payments never came through. Basically allegedly screwed them out of that money, gave them $1 million because they were threatening to sue him for the full 12. And he's like, no, hold up, wait a minute here. I'll give you $1 million. And the next month I'll give you $2.5 million. And we'll just keep these payments going and I'll take care of you because I'm a good guy. As we saw in the Hulu documentary, he's like, I'm a good guy. I'm a really good guy. We have the voicemails, Tom. I don't know if you're still a good guy. Allegedly. Well, that's actually my personal opinion. That's my opinion. Okay. So the settlement was for $12 million. He paid them $1 million, so they're still owed $11 million. The judge ruled that they can go after Erika because there is a $20 million. This has yet to actually be confirmed. When I spoke to Ronald Richards a couple months ago, he says that $20 million, that there isn't exactly a direct paper trail to it, which is why they're asking Erika for all of her financial records, which are due on July 21st. So as of July 21st, Erika has to turn over all of those documents, which will determine how much was given to her, how much of it was in loans, where that money went, and how much she may have to actually pay back. So does this mean that the victims can sue Erika for $11 million? Yes and no. So they can't directly, like, they have to first be able to prove that, one, she received the $20 million. And the only way they can prove that is once they have all the paper trail and the records of the money that was transferred over to Erika and the loans. Because if you're giving someone a loan, there has to be a paper trail of like, this is how much I'm loaning you. This is how much you owe me. So they need to be able to first find that paper trail of the $20 million in loans, which wasn't a one-time lump sum. It was an accumulation over many years that was sent to her LLC, which is EJ Global, which I'm pretty sure was Tom's way of being like, oh, this is a loophole. We'll write them off as loans. That way we don't have to pay taxes on it. And now here we go. Oopsie whoopsie. When it's written off as a loan, it can be recollected anytime in the future. I'm pretty sure Erika didn't ever think that Tom was going to be asking her back for money. So we have to first prove that she did receive the $20 million from Girardi Keese. Once we prove that, we have to determine which funds of all of the Girardi Keese funds were then where that $11 million fell within their bank account, and then which of that money was then given to Erika, if any of it, which is where Erika is probably going to be able to fight back. You know, none of this has actually been proven yet. We have the Edelson PC lawsuit that is they're the ones that allege that she was given $20 million in loans. We have yet to actually see that paper trail, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be coming in the coming weeks. So Erika's attorney did file an opposition against that order. That was, I believe, on Monday, July 5th, which is also when her new counsel came into place. She has a new lawyer, which I talked about on the podcast. But it looks like that this motion that the Ruy Gomez can collect from Erika, not that they can directly sue her. The details are a little bit fuzzy in terms of what they're actually allowed to do. But it basically just says that Erika's finances are now opened up to potentially now go towards this Ruy Gomez family. Again, nothing has been proven yet. No paper trail has been found yet. She needs a new PR team as well. It's interesting that you say that, Ashfen, because I thought her PR team would have dropped her by now, but today, I guess, is her birthday, or her birthday's this week. So she was given like flowers and cake from her PR team. So they're still, her publicist is still with her. He needs to help her like clean up her act a little bit, but okay. So she has until July 21st to hand over all of her financial documents, and that'll determine where her money actually came from, how much of it was Fenty and how much of it was Tom Girardi, where the money actually went. Was it to Glam? Did she hide it somewhere? And what can be used to pay back the Ruy Gomez family? Her legal team is probably also going to push back on it, being that they are now trying to sue her after she's already filed for a legal separation and divorce from Tom Girardi. So she could be like, hold on, wait a minute. This dude, like, you know, I dumped his old bones. His saggy balls are no longer my responsibility. She did, however, then there was another article that I read today where they were like, ooh, Erika Jayne seemingly responded to the judge ruling in favor of the Ruy Gomez family. And she posted a meme that said, the Ice Queen can take it. But it had Bravo logo in the corner, and it was like a Bravo PR team edited or social team like meme that they gave her on the day that the episode released. And as we know, which as she shared on her Instagram in the past, on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills air dates, she is contractually obligated to actually post on those days. So what was this a nod to the judge? Was this just something that they gave her? Because I remember a couple weeks ago, she posted something to her Instagram as well, where she was like, Bravo told me I had to post this, so I'm posting it. And it also seemed a little out of touch, but it seemed like Bravo had like a social media strategy that they were implementing. Ale Mares says, get that Cartier ring. Yes, that was the Cartier ring that she was spotted wearing recently when she was boarding the private jet. As those words came out of my mouth, I realized like how insane that sounds, considering all this money is owed to people from her husband. Jewel Cinda. Oh yeah, that pricey Jaguar ring. They're going to look at all of her assets. I talked about this on the podcast, but how can she not want these victims to get some of her money? Okay, so back to the Cartier, the Jaguar ring. I'm starting to think that maybe that's part of her strategy, is to show certain assets like that Jaguar ring and, like, you know, to flaunt her wealth a little bit in a sense so that people can track that money so that they can use those assets to pay back what could potentially be owed to Girardi Keese and the victims that are owed money to from Girardi Keese. So it's like, if you see this ring on my finger, you know that's how much value that is. So then all I have to do at the end of the day is give you this ring on my finger instead of having you pull from the money in my bank account. Possible strategy? I don't know. I'm grasping at straws at this point because I'm like, I don't know what she's doing. Okay, what else are you guys saying? Jack 1971. How can she not want these victims to get some of her money? I think she knows that at some point she's having to pay up money. Whether it's going to be a full 20 million, probably not. Probably something close to it. She's going to have to pay a lot of money. And a lot of that money is going to hopefully go to the victims and not so much to the lenders or the banks that are asked that Tom is owed money to, but hopefully to the actual victims that he allegedly stole this money from. So I think, one, she can't really show any sort of remorse because obviously if she does, that's admitting some sort of guilt. So she kind of has to keep up this front. But I'm sure there has to be an element of guilt in there for her. Like, unless she's just like a total sociopath, which based off of her meltdown in next week's episode, which looks a little more genuine than some of the other moments we've seen of her, which I'm also curious that they didn't show any of that stuff in the trailer. Like, they really wanted us to go into the season thinking she wasn't going to give us much. And it seems like she's actually giving us a lot more than a lot of people were expecting. All right, what else we got? Your girl Mar, their gifts. Yes, and she's going to try to fight that a lot of these items that she got were gifts, but I'm assuming she's trying to hold on to as many of these gifts as possible so that those gifts can then be soon liquidated further down the line when she has to pay something up. I mean, I highly doubt she wants to keep some of it, knowing that it came from her ex-husband in a loveless marriage and considering like they were given to her with blood money. I'm pretty sure she at some point, hopefully, will have like a real turn apart moment, have a real like sit down with Andy Cohen and like really give us all of the tea. Wait, who friggin' jet was she boarding? I don't think it was her actual jet. I mean, jets are easy to rent here in Los Angeles. You can easily be like, I need a jet for the weekend. You can rent one. They're not hard to rent here in LA. Jets in general, personal jets are just not hard to rent. TBH. Ella Mares. Let's not forget she is the Ice Queen. They call her that for a reason. I think that's a self-given title. Self-given title that she is owning. Hashtag own it, baby. Who's drinking some no-filter rosé with me tonight? Which one are you guys drinking? I saw someone was drinking a Kim's Goddamn House. Someone was drinking a Mention It All. Looks like the ladies of BH are like, stay away. We don't want bad press. Actually, it's quite the opposite. When they've spoken about it, they've all spoken highly of Erika and said that she's talking a lot this season, that she's really going to be telling her side of the story throughout the season, number one. And number two, that they believe she really didn't know as much as the press is trying to make it out to be. Joseph, do you think that the other housewives should hold a charity event to raise money for the victims? That would be classy. That would be classy, but again, it's not something that can happen right now only because, and I'm not even sure if it's something that can happen in the future, because if they do that, that does show an admission of guilt. That shows like, if they're saying that we want to help the victims, that's probably saying, oh, Erika's our friend and we know that she did something shady, therefore we're trying to help her out, while also allowing her to kind of live this lavish lifestyle that she has. I think that would be a really great thing, but I think that's really dicey for them to do, and I don't think any of them want to touch it. They want to stay away from it with the 10-foot pole. Marital property, not gifts, Krista Marie Miller says. That's what the judge and the shit, what's the title? Sorry, the rosé is getting to my brain. That's for the judge and the trustee to determine what's actual marital property and what is an actual gift. I mean, it comes into the scope of gift if like the Jaguar ring, for example, on Beverly Hills, on the Housewives, she talks about how that was a Christmas gift that Tom gave her. So in that sense, it's not marital property or community property. It is technically a gift that her husband gave to her, and that's what she's claiming that a lot of these things are. Again, not saying that I'm trying to defend her or not, but just from a legal standpoint and from a realistic standpoint of how this could all potentially shake out, that's kind of where we're at. The judge can order her to sell everything she owns. It doesn't matter if they're gifts. Yes, the judge can do that. The judge has yet to do that, and she's fighting it. And her defense is that these items are gifts. I mean, they are all paid off this show and ratings. True. Are you turning on her, Zack? I'm not. I've said it before many times. I'm not pro Erika, but I'm not against Erika. Like, I'm waiting to see how it all plays out. I feel like we don't have all the information. We don't really have her side. We don't really have Tom's side. All we have is the press and the headlines. So until we kind of see all the pieces, once I see all the pieces on the table, then I could be like, oh, this is where she's guilty. This is where he's guilty. You know, this is where the victims are owed this, and this is where Tom screwed out that. Once we have all those pieces, then I can determine whether or not, you know, I think she's guilty or not. Do I think she's as innocent as she's claiming? No. But I don't think she's as guilty as everybody wants to believe that she is. But again, I'm reserving my judgment until we have all of the information. Lisa Ann, to say she's horrified to find out her husband is a thief and her heart goes out to the victims is no way admitting guilt. I actually think it would bolster her defense. Maybe in the court of public opinion, yes. But when you have all of these banks and lenders that are owed money, their legal team is going to jump on that. I mean, personally, I'm sure you and I don't think that that's an admission of guilt. But when you're in the legal world, when you're in the courtroom, they can use that as an admission of guilt. Is kind of the point that I'm trying to make, which again, I'm trying to say this isn't a matter of like our personal opinions and what we see based off of how we're watching this all play out. This is how this is going to play out in court. And in court, they can use that as ammunition against her. She could use Uber Jet. Oh my God, is Uber Jet a thing? Is Uber Jet like a thing? Yeah, I remember getting emails when they were trying to make it a thing. Maybe a sugar daddy. She already had a sugar daddy, and look at how it all shaked out. Oh my God, so many comments. Okay, I'm going to try to catch up on all of these. Let's see. Agree. We need to see all the pieces. Yes, sheesh, Lucy. Tom doesn't get a side. You're right. Tom shouldn't get a side at this point. Like, I think we have the voicemails. We have all the voicemails from him. We have the paper trail from him. Like, at this point, there really is no defense for Tom. Clankety clank, like Kim D. Clink, clink, bitch. She's not admitting guilt for feeling bad, like you're disgusted with his actions. I'm sure she is disgusted with his actions, and I'm sure we're going to see that play out on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. But I think at some point she was told from a PR and from a legal standpoint, like, you have to keep your mouth shut because, you know, we're trying to make sure you don't get buried in the end. Hi, Lynn. How are you guys? Who else is drinking with me? I stole Kim's goddamn house. NoFilterWine.com. If you ordered this week and post a pic, you'll be entered to win a free 12-pack. I don't think she's going to jail. Also, jail time will not get the victims any of their money sooner. I agree. She's not going to jail because she hasn't been charged with anything criminally yet, nor can they even prove that she was tied to anything criminally. So everyone about saying she needs to be locked up, put her in an orange jumpsuit, that's probably never going to happen. Okay, what else do you guys want to talk about aside from the Erika Jayne step? Yep, and keep your legs shut because nobody wants to see your crotch while your money has been stolen from the innocent victims. I thought you were talking to me, Holly in the Valley. I was like, when have you seen my legs open? To hide assets and deflect from Tom's crimes. I feel like she puts on a good front, like she's too good. I mean, I feel like that's where she stands. Okay, Kim's book. Yes, your girl Mar. Let's talk about Kim's book. So there are all these, I talked about this a bit on the podcast this week, but with Kim's book, all these people are saying Kim's going to mention it all. Kim's going to blast Andy. Kim's going to blast, oh my God, we have so many live requests. Let's take a live request before we dive into Kim's book. Let's see. Kat cruising. Let's see if Kat's actually going to answer the call. 'Cause sometimes people accidentally call in and they're like, oh my God, I didn't. Hi. Oh, Did we call in accidentally? Hi, Jen Lopez. Hi from the Dominican Republic. Okay. Well, that was another accidental call. Make sure if you guys are calling into the live chat, you're careful that you don't accidentally call in, because occasionally I'll take a live call. Is she on the toilet? It looked like she was on the toilet. I'm sorry. Okay. That was an oopsie whoopsie accidental. Did Kathy try to squash the book since she was unhappy with Kyle over the American? It's possible that Kathy was one of the ones that tried to squash the book. The book was squashed for a hot minute. I thought it was really weird. I'm not surprised that they brought it back considering how much money they were going to be losing from it. It's possible, now that I think about it, it's possible that they squashed the book because they were trying to align the book's release with BravoCon. And then when the world got shut down last year and there were no events happening and there was no BravoCon happening, that's when the book got shut down. And now that BravoCon has been announced and the weekend that BravoCon has been announced, now that that's become public again, now it seems like it's possible that the book was never fully squashed, but maybe just tabled for a minute until it made more sense to bring the book back. I don't know. But okay, so one of the biggest things that everyone's talking about is like what she could possibly be revealing about Harry Hamlin, because we know the season 5 scene in Amsterdam with her versus Lisa Rinna, when Lisa Rinna throws and breaks the glass and she's like, "Don't ever talk about my husband." What did Kim Richards know about Harry Hamlin? So we've put together some theories, and some of you have sent in some of your theories. So my theory was it was either that Harry Hamlin is bisexual or that Harry Hamlin is an alcoholic. I personally think it's the alcoholic rumor is what Kim knew that he was an alcoholic. Maybe she ran into him at a meeting or something, and because it wasn't really highly publicized, she was using that as ammunition against him. However, there are other rumors and theories that Harry Hamlin might be bisexual, that he might have a gay lover that he occasionally goes and stays with up in Canada. There are also rumors, I don't know what it is with Canada, but there are also rumors that he has some girlfriends up in Canada, and that he's living with a man out there, a boyfriend out there. But my thing is, it's like when it comes to the gay rumors or the open relationship rumors, how would Kim Richards even know any of that? Why would she know any of that? I was watching back that scene from Amsterdam, and she's like, "Let's not talk about what you don't want out there." And she's like, "Because we've all talked about it," which means whatever it is that Kim was referring to, Kyle, Lisa Vanderpump, Yolanda, like they've all seemingly talked about it or discussed it. He cheats on her is what I hear, Jewel. Yes, I've heard that. Jack 1971, I think he has some sex with men. Yeah, or has sex with a man. Yeah. So those are the rumors that are out there. Whether or not those are, I mean, is it possible? Sure. Is Kim Richards, from what I hear, Kim Richards and Lisa Rinna are actually in a good place right now. Why would Kim want to ruffle feathers? I don't know. I mean, it seems like, why would you even want to out somebody at this point? I think that would make you look bad more than it would be salacious enough for Harry Hamlin. Just because he can cook and set a table doesn't mean he's gay. You're right, your girl Mar. Bravo NT. I think the alcoholic rumor is more feasible. I think the gay rumors are out there. They may possibly be true, but I think the alcoholic rumor is what Kim Richards was referring to without realizing that it's actually been a little more publicized than she realized, especially because the storyline of Kim was Lisa Rinna was talking about Kim's sobriety. So I think it is one of those like, oh, well, you're talking about my sobriety. Let's not talk about your husband because he's also an alcoholic. I think it was that sort of thing. So I don't think there's going to be as much tea and juice as people are expecting, unfortunately. As much as we all love Kim Richards, I don't know how much we're actually going to get out of her. That is very uncool about the alcoholic rumor coming from her. She should be supportive. I agree with that too. I don't think there's anything good that's going to come from Kim revealing something about Harry Hamlin. I think as viewers, as fans of the show, yeah, we all want to know, but at the same time, what would actually be is it really, are she really gonna ruin her reputation by outing him as an alcoholic or as a bisexual, possibly gay man? I don't know. Let's talk about Real Housewives of New York. Real Housewives of New York was fucking boring this episode. I fell asleep. I thought there was nothing interesting about it. I didn't laugh. I didn't smile. I didn't chuckle. Well, the only thing that like really threw me off was those fucking masks that they were wearing because they were terrible. I said it on my Instagram stories. Like it looked like a piece of a piece of plastic with like tampon foam covering it. It looked really bad. It was not good. And I don't know. I feel like the chemistry is bad. I feel like Ramona, Sonia, Luann, I feel like they're all just like phoning it in at this point. They don't care to get to know Leah. They don't care to get to know Ebony. They're just tired and exhausted and like over it. Yeah, the masks were so bad. 0 out of 10 for Roni this week. I think 0 out of 10 for this week, 2 out of 10 overall with the entire season. I think everyone is just, they're phoning it in and they're like Ramona, Sonia, and Luann don't care. Leah, it knows that they don't care, so she's trying extra hard to carry the show. And Ebony, I just don't think she connects with these women. I mean, I think Bershawn connects with these women more than Ebony does, and we don't see much of Bershawn. I've enjoyed the scenes that we've gotten of Bershawn. I just feel like Ebony, it's also an interesting career choice for Ebony to join Real Housewives of New York, which is really like the party series of the entire Real Housewives franchise. Like they get naked, they get in the pool naked together, they scream at each other, they get wildly drunk, they allegedly do drugs, cough, cough, Dorinda, cough, cough, Sonia. At least those are the rumors that were out there that they try to bring up on the reunion. So it's like the party, it's like the party college, the party university, where, I mean, I guess she lives in New York, so she doesn't have many options. But it's like, like Jersey is very family oriented. New York is very party oriented. Beverly Hills is very glam. Orange County is very conservative, stick up the ass. So that, I'm not sure why she decided to join Real Housewives. Like her career is just in such a different place. She is the most educated in terms of like educational credentials. Sure, gonna give her that. But I just feel like she doesn't mesh with this group of women, nor do these women even care. Like at this point, like it's not a Bethany, it's not a Dorinda that at least had history with Ramona, Sonia, and Luann. Like they have a history and a relationship and a pre-established like, timeline together. Whereas I don't think any of the OGs care to get to know anybody new. I don't think they care to really get to know Leah. I don't think they care to really get to know Ebony. I don't think they care to get to know any newbies and have to carry the show at this point. Like they've carried it on their backs for way too long. Britt, I love the Ebony Sonia love this season. Sonia deserves so much more than what she gets from Ramona and Lou. Yes and no. Like, I like Sonia. I do like Sonia, but I also feel like Sonia is Sonia's worst enemy and she continues to get in her own way. And watching someone that continues, it's like your friend that continues to go back to the fuckboy and she continues to screw him and she continues to screw him and he continues to break her heart, but she continues to go back to him. And it's like, at this point, like, I can't feel for Sonia anymore because what is left? Like, what's left for me? You're the one that keeps texting him at 2 a.m, or you're the one that keeps calling him and then going over to his house when he texts you at 2:00 a.m. It's like, I can't root for you anymore. The NASCAR chick. This has absolutely nothing to deal with what you're talking about, Zack, but I went paddleboarding over the 4th of July weekend and went past Whitney Rose's house, and they were outside celebrating the 4th of July, and they hollered at us and said, "Hope you're having fun." So it was kind of cool. Oh, how sweet. I want to get Whitney Rose on my podcast. I do have one of the Salt Lake City ladies that is supposed to be coming on my podcast closer to the fall. Wink, wink, maybe September. Wink, wink, when Salt Lake City, wink, wink, maybe returning. Wink, wink. I also have maybe a recent former Real Housewife of New York, wink, wink, that will be coming on my show next month. You can take some guesses. Join the private Facebook group if you want to find out who it is, because I always reveal the guests in there. All right, let's see. Let's talk about, I would love to get Whitney on the show. Whitney, Lisa Barlow, Heather Gay, sure. feel like Heather Gay is a little overrated at this point. I mean, I like Heather Gay, don't get me wrong, but I feel like everybody gets her on our podcast and everyone wants to talk to her, that I always like to do something a little different and think outside the box. Beverly Hills. Should we talk Real Housewives of Beverly Hills? Let's do it. RHOBH. Real Housewives Beverly Hills. Beverly Hills. This was a good episode. I think in the Sutton versus Crystal, I did Mixing with Monty's podcast where we dive deeper into the episode and the Kyle Richards of it all, which is really great. I highly suggest you listen to Mixing with Monty this Saturday, I believe is when it's coming out. Stay tuned. But the it's Crystal and Sutton drama. Who is hunky dory? Best fucking quote of the night. Who is hunky dory and what am I jealous of your ugly leather pants? Both gold. Gold. But let's talk about Beverly Hills and let's talk about Crystal versus Sutton. I think in this case, like, I get where Crystal's coming from, but I think I'm Team Sutton on this one only because I feel like just give her an apology so we can be done with this. Like, just say, I'm sorry. Even if it's not a genuine apology, at least we get to put it to rest. Like, let the mouse go. Crystal is being a little extra. I like her, and I feel like I'm going to like her more once we wrap up this Sutton versus Crystal beef. But Sutton's meltdown and the way Crystal is just so calm and keeps her composure as Sutton has these meltdowns gives me life. Like, that whole scene, like when Sutton is leaving and then Lisa Rinna's like, oh my God, she's leaving. And then Kathy Hilton looks at her and she's like, this is your house. You should probably do something about that. And then Lisa Rinna's like, oh yeah, I should probably insert myself into drama that has nothing to do with me, even though I do it all the time. And then she runs up and she's like, what's happening? And then Sutton's walking out and she's like, what am I jealous of? What? Your ugly leather pants? And then Garcelle and Kai are like, no. And then Kyle's like, oh my God, she just said leather pants. It's okay. It's just leather pants. I think they thought in that moment, they were like, holy shit, this woman is about to get canceled because she's about to call Crystal ugly or call Crystal's husband ugly or say something about Crystal that like is going to get her canceled. And then they realized, oh, it's just the comment about the pants. We're all good. We're solid. Crystal is like, as much as you want to hate Crystal, you actually enjoy, like you appreciate, like you love to hate her and you appreciate what she brings to the show. At least I do. Yummy. All right, guys. Anything else before we close out the conversation? Let me know. Thank you for joining. Katie. Hi, Katie. I always come in so late. Katie, I know. Girl, you always come in so late, but I'm glad to have you. Cheers. Cheers, my dear. Cheers. But who is hunky dory? Best quote of the night. Okay, why don't we vote on that? What was the better quote of the night? Who is hunky dory or jealous of what? Your ugly leather pants. Leather pants, hunky dory. Leather pants, hunky dory. Weigh in below. What do we think is the quote of the night? And then I will post that quote to the Instagram feed, to the @NoFilterWithZack Instagram feed tomorrow so we can weigh in further on Beverly Hills. Because there's nothing exciting about New York happening. Hunky dory. All right. Looks like, yes, Kathy. Oh, with leather pants. Houston text girl says leather pants. Jack says leather pants. Oh my God. Okay, it looks like hunky dory may take the lead, but leather pants was a great one. Maybe I'll post them both. I'll do a slide. Leather pants. I think I'm going to, yeah. It was good. All right, guys. Anything else before we close out the chat today? Close out tonight's live show. Anything else about Kim Richards, about Erika Jayne, about Housewife and the Hustler? Oh, God. I'm looking a little Liddy City tonight on the YouTube. I don't know if it's the lighting or the fact that I am just Liddy City tonight. Cheers. Is anybody joining the both can be your new collabs? I know, right? What's your favorite housewife moment of all time? Ooh, that's a really good question. My favorite housewife moment of all time It's probably on one of these cans. I mean, I love I Stole Kim's Goddamn House. Like that to me is such a classic moment. Hunky Dory. Hunky Dory, Hunky Dory. I know. Hunky Dory was a great one. It's possible that these could be, that could be a new can. I'm thinking of designing another batch of cans. Maybe launching them in the fall. Maybe I might have to have you guys help me determine what the next sayings will be for another batch of cans. I'm going on Facebook to join the club. Woo, woo. You look good, babe. Aw, thank you guys. Okay, well, it looks like Hunky Dory is winning the night. Teresa's table flip. Teresa's table flip was great. That's why there's another can dedicated to Teresa's table flip. All right, guys, talk Kelly Dodd and the apology. What apology? Oh, you mean Kelly Dodd when she apologized to Heather Dubrow? I mean, that's the kind of shit that I want, that I tune into Real Housewives for. The letter that Heather Dubrow's family, the Dubrow family, sent to Kelly Dodd, that's the type of content that I enjoy watching on the Real Housewives. Like, Kelly Dodd knows how to pull out the cards and be a good housewife. So what are my thoughts about Kelly Dodd and the apology to Heather Dubrow? I mean, Heather already stole Kelly's orange. Like, at this point, like, did she really need to send her a legal letter? Like, did anybody really believe that Heather Dubrow's son gave Kelly Dodd COVID? I don't think anybody actually believed that but Kelly Dodd. But did he? Probably. I mean, if they were all at the same party together and he had COVID, like, there's a good chance that, you know, I mean, people are so afraid to, like, get next to somebody at the market that if you're at a party with a kid that happens to have COVID, yeah, there's a good chance that Kelly Dodd got it from him. Should Kelly Dodd have announced that on social media? Definitely not. Like, he's a kid, he's underage. Like, let's, you know, give the boy a break. Let the mouse go. Did Heather Dubrow also need to send the letter? No, these are all very unnecessary things to do, but the messiness of it all is what we actually do. Yes, actually, Kelly did 24 others, dude. Glad Kelly and Bronwyn are gone. They could have kept Elizabeth. I think we didn't give Elizabeth a fair enough chance. All right, guys. Time to wrap. Thank you so much for chatting today live. You can give me a follow at Just Plain Zack. Continue to follow the Instagram account. We go live every Thursday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific. So if you want to join in live Thursday nights, 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern, you can join in at No Filter with Zack. Follow me at Just Plain Zack. Get my wine. Housewives Watching Wine. 4 fun designs inspired by iconic Housewives moments. Available at nofilterwine.com for everyone that orders and posts a pic. You'll be entered to win a free 12-pack along with lots of other goodies, including merch, snacks, beauty essentials, all of it. All right. Love you guys. Love you. Be sure to tune into the podcast. So many other great tea and tidbits to be spilled there. So, love you. Love you. Mean it. Cheers, everybody. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Ciao for now.